Hello, and welcome back to Go With The Flow, where mentors from our Writing Center discuss all things writing. For today's episode, we decided to switch things up a little bit and try a trivia game. I'm joined once again by Ava and Chris, two of our Writing Center mentors, and I will be testing their knowledge on writing across different disciplines like nursing, aviation, and English. So first, I want to give my guests an opportunity to reintroduce themselves to our listeners. Please share your name, major, and how long you've been at the Writing Center, and a fun fact about yourself. Ava, why don't you start us off?
Hello, everyone. My name is Ava. I am a music business major. I've been with the Writing Center, I think, 4 semesters now. And a fun fact about me is that I go to a concert almost every weekend.
That's awesome. Okay, Chris?
Hey, I'm Chris, graduate assistant here at the Writing Center. I've been here for about 2 years now, and my major is physics.
Okay, thank you. And I am Shannon. I'm an English and secondary education major. I've been at the Writing Center for 3 semesters now, or maybe 4. I think this is my 4th one. And a fun fact about me is I am 6 feet tall, exactly. Okay, so we're going to move on, and I'm going to kind of explain how this trivia game is going to work. This is low stakes, but I will be keeping score. Maybe there's a prize, maybe there isn't. I haven't decided yet. But I want you guys to, just answer the questions that I'm going to be asking you. I don't want you to wait to call on me, but something fun that I think we could add to this is I want you guys to make up a buzzer noise. So, Ava, first, what'll be your buzzer noise?
I think my buzzer noise will be meep.
Okay, Chris? Okay, perfect. So, make sure that you guys do that before you answer any questions, and then whoever does it first will get to answer the question. If it's like a disparity, we'll have to maybe go again. So we're just going to start with a warm-up question, so something easy. So what are the 3 main parts of a basic essay? Chris.
The introduction, the body, and the conclusion.
Yes, correct. Very good.
Yay.
All right, so now let's get into the real game. So our first topic will be college writing basics. So question 1. What is a thesis statement?
Meep.
Ava.
So a thesis statement is going to be a 1 to 2 sentence summary of the main argument of your paper.
Yes, that is correct. Okay, question 2. Which citation style is most commonly used in English classrooms, MLA or APA?
Meep.
Oh.
At the same time.
I think it was Ava.
Oh.
I'm going to say MLA.
That is correct.
Yes.
Okay, question 3. What should an introduction do besides introduce the topic? Chris.
So an introduction, well, I'd say besides just introduce the topic, it should also provide a little bit of the necessary background.
Yes, correct. Provide context and present the thesis. Very good. All right, you guys are doing really good so far, but now we're going to try and speed things up a little bit. We're going to move on to grammar and style. So question 1. If I were to say they're going to the library and I said the there, THEIR, and that's how I spelled it, is that correct? Chris?
Meep.
The answer is no. The answer is
Okay. And what is the correct answer?
The answer is there. So, they are THEY apostrophe RE.
Yes, correct. Very good.
Yay.
Very good. Okay, next question. What is the difference between affect with an A and affect with an E?
Meep.
Ava.
Okay, I'm very proud because I just learned this recently. This has always been a trip for me. So, effect with an E is something that happens after a cause. So like a cause and effect relationship. And then affect with an A is when a person or a thing is affected by something.
Okay, I think I'm going to give it to you, even though you used the word in the definition. You said affect is because someone is affected by something.
I think it counts.
But yeah, I agree. I think it counts. So affect with an A is to influence, and then affect with an E is a result of something. So you were correct. All right, next question. What is a comma splice? Chris.
So a comma splice is it's the name of like a grammatical error where you use only one comma for multiple, I think the word is prepositions. I don't know if that's the right word. But it is, yeah, you're using only one comma for when you're presenting multiple different ideas. I'm using a different way to describe that because I can't remember the exact word. But yeah.
Okay, so I think Chris did get it, even though you were a little roundabout with the answer.
Sorry about that.
But I would say, like, a very concise way of explaining a comma splice would be when two complete sentences are joined with just a comma. Okay? So it's like when you should put a period and start a new thought.
Yes.
All right, nice work with those ones. So we're going to move on into something a little bit more specific. So a lot of times, at least in my experience working in the Writing Center, we get a lot of papers in nursing and in aviation. So I thought I would ask a few content-specific questions about writing in those specific majors. So question 1 would pertain to nursing. What is evidence-based writing?
Me.
Ava.
I'd say that evidence-based research and writing in nursing is when you use patient-specific information. Like you're using real patient data to prove something. Does that make sense?
I think you're like almost there. Chris, do you have like a rebuttal or like?
I think it's enough. Her answer is enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like what I'm trying to say is that it's a style of presenting research where you use real patient data to come up with a diagnosis, or you're using specific symptoms that you've observed in the patient to present your information or to base your research off of that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to give it to you. I think that is a good way of saying it. I had for my answer writing that uses research and credible sources to support claims. And I think that you got to that with the research aspect, so I will give it to you.
I was thinking like very nursing specific.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so question 2. What kind of tone is often used in patient documentation? Chris.
Clinical or professional?
Yes, very good. Okay, moving on to aviation. So question 1 for aviation. Why is clarity especially important in aviation writing?
Me. Oh.
Ooh, Chris.
Okay, it's me?
Yes.
Okay. I'd say that clarity is especially important in aviation writing, specifically because if you, like, for aviation, you can have, I'm going to use a specific example. Like, you can have, like, a problem or something. Like, let's say you're, like, an aviation mechanic, so to speak. Not so to speak, you are an aviation mechanic. But, let's say that you have an error that you found in the whatever plane it is that you're working on, and you're trying to convey that. If you don't do that in a clear manner, then you can put lives in danger.
Yes, exactly. It could lead to serious safety risks if something is unclear. So yeah, well done, Chris. That is correct. All right, next question on aviation. What are some different types of writing that are used in aviation?
I have no idea.
Well, like maybe if I maybe let me try and reword it. Like if you you're an aviation major, right? But then you graduate and go on to work in aviation. So what kind of like documentation or like things might you be filling out?
Like reports and things. Yeah, definitely reports. There's also, depending on whether or not like it's like a management position, you can, or like something that involves doing aviation research, you could also have like research papers.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to you. That one was a little bit more difficult because I think that's more on the professional aspect of things rather than like a student aspect.
Okay.
But I did have like reports, communication records, logs, and manuals. And I think those are things that like aviation majors might be practicing too while they attend school. So I think it's good for us to be familiar with those kinds of things. All right, now we're going to move on to like, it's kind of like a game within the game. We're already doing trivia, but this is going to be like a real or fake writing rule game, which will also have to do with the points. Right now you guys are tied, by the way.
Oh my.
Okay, so I'm just going to say a statement and then like you'll continue to do your buzzer and just tell me if it's real or fake. So first statement, you should never use I in academic writing.
Me.
Ava.
Real. It depends. Most of the time.
Wrong.
No.
I mean, you're wrong.
No.
Okay. Chris, I will let you steal the point if you can give me a reason.
Okay. Well, I'd say in terms of like, what do you mean by academic writing? Because it could be like a academic narration.
Just academic writing. Like you got to make the choice.
It could be a narration. I don't know. it could be like a narrative essay, like like a professional learning sort of thing, professional development.
Right. So the rule is fake because it depends on the assignment. Like there can be an appropriate situation.
That was embarrassing.
It's okay.
I said it does. It depends. It depends.
Full confidence.
It depends. I said yes, it depends, but no.
All right. Statement 2. Real or fake? Every paragraph must be at least 5 sentences. Chris.
I'd say that's fake news. It used to be, I remember it being like a rule in like high school, but it's whatever, like in academic writing, whatever suits the purposes of conveying information in the best way is what will be your rule.
Yeah, right. I said that length depends on the content and is not a strict rule. I think we've talked about this in the past, how oftentimes in high school and even middle school, students are taught to write papers in a very structured and restrictive way. But that's just because their teachers want them to develop good writing habits. And that can sometimes only be done with like that structured set of rules. But yes, you are correct, Chris. It is a fake rule. All right, next rule. You should always support your claims with evidence.
Beep.
Ava.
Real.
Yes, very good. Yay. Okay. So I feel like those are a lot of like myths and stuff we see in the Writing Center, particularly that last one. I think sometimes students forget when they need to cite sources and when they don't need to, but I always say if the thought is not your own, make sure you're given credit where credit is due. All right, so that is the end of our game. Very good, guys. And congratulations to Chris. And Ava, you did a really good job too. You only lost by 1. All right, so now we'll move on to our next segment. Everybody's favorite segment, the word of the week.
Yay.
This week I picked a word that I think you guys will know, if I'm being completely honest.
Don't be too sure.
And, well, yeah. I just thought it kind of fit well with the topic or the game. Mm-hmm. So the word of the week is synthesize.
Oh, okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is it, so the word synthesize in a general context, not like a scientific context? Or I guess it could be an English context. Yeah. There's a lot of different contexts.
Like a musical context.
Right.
Right. All right. Does anyone have any?
Okay.
Guess I kind of hyped you guys up by saying I thought you know what it means.
Okay, I do know what it means. It's, well, I think I know what it means.
Okay, like in a Yeah, in like the context of writing, obviously. So not in
Ooh.
the scientific.
That's interesting.
I guess it would be scientific if you're writing a scientific.
In the context of writing.
Yeah, like what do
That's-
you?
That's
When-
interesting because,
When you synthesize, like what are you doing?
well, when I think of like,
I know you're a
Not-
scientist, so
yeah, when I think of like not in the context of writing, I'm thinking like to like, well, there's a lot of different ways to describe it, but like to artificially like produce something.
Okay,
Mhm.
so take that and apply it to like writing. Cause like you're right, you're right.
Like, Ava, do you have a guess?
What did you say? I forgot what you said.
I said to like artificially like produce something.
Oh,
Would you like me to
She's-
use it in a sentence for you?
sure.
Yeah.
In this essay, I will synthesize research from multiple studies to support my argument.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it when you take information from multiple sources and put it together into one paper?
Yes!
Yay!
That's like almost exactly what the definition
Wow.
is.
See,
It's to combine ideas from multiple sources to create a new understanding.
Wow.
see, we took our
very
time
good.
to
For
make it more
me.
fun.
Awesome! That's a super useful word, especially in research writing. I think it's, as I said before, Chris is a scientist, so like him not being able to associate the word synthesize exactly to writing makes sense to me because I feel like you would consider the combination of chemicals before the combination of multiple sources
Yeah.
in writing, which is totally fine. But you both did a wonderful job getting down to the nitty gritty of that word. Before we close today's episode, I want to remind our listeners that the Writing Center is here to support you through every stage of the writing process. You can make an appointment by visiting My Lewis and clicking the WC Online tab underneath Advising and Academic Support. You can also visit our online writing lab by visiting lewisu.edu/writing center. I want to thank our listeners for tuning in this week. And of course, a big thank you to my guests for joining me in today's conversation and for playing along with my silly little game. I encourage you all to keep writing, keep revising, and never be afraid to reach out for help along the way. This has been Go with the Flow. Until next time.